all under the impression that they were a team, and this was a normal routine for them.
I'm going to start this video off by apologizing to Keith Lee. He is someone that I looked up to for so long. I would never intentionally flip his words to work in my favor.
Called or text, however, he got in touch with Sherelle and asked her if she could come pick up the money. From what I hear, she is refusing to get it. So now I am asking, and I'm asking my.
You have all of about 32 seconds left to either hide my phone number or remove it altogether before I go to work on your page.
Welcome to the next episode of As the Food Truck Burns. If you aren't familiar, Keith Lee, food critic, has decided to surprise the food truck. So much so, he leaves them a $4,000 tip. But he leaves specific instructions on what you're supposed to do with that tip. $2,000 of it is supposed to go to the establishment, to the food truck. $1,000 is supposed to go to a barber, and $1,000 is supposed to go to the braider. Good, we got that out of the way. That's not what happened. You could call it greed. You could call it insubordinance. You could call it just plain not listening. But Keith Lee was very clear on what he wanted to be done with his money. So much so, he had to come back and actually correct some people that were intentionally misinterpreting his words. But so now we reach a bit of a conclusion. We reach a place in the story where people are supposed to grow and learn from the mistakes that they made. Oh, but they're not going to take this lightly, and they're not going to go away easy.
Hey y'all, I want to start this video off by apologizing to Keith Lee. He is someone that I looked up to for so long. I would never intentionally flip his words to work in my favor. I genuinely thought when he left the money for free haircuts that it was for free haircuts, not just to give to the barber. So I can accept as a man that I was loud and wrong, and I apologize. Once Keith Lee made his response video, my mom immediately sent the money to the barber that was originally there. I also reached out off camera to provide a sincere apology. So since now we all got a clear understanding of what Keith Lee wanted, we are taking the initiative to do what's right. This Friday, February 9th, between 1 and 5 p.m., we will be hosting a family and fun community event. We have reached out to a master barber here in Dallas who will be providing quality haircuts, as well as we will be giving out meals to the first 20 customers in line, as well as free fried rib samples for everyone to try. As we take the step to make things right, I only have one request. Can you guys please stop with the threatening phone calls and harassing at my mom's home and place of business? Her address has been leaked, and just nobody deserves that. Everybody makes mistakes. I humbly and graciously thank you all for a second chance to make things right. I hope to see you all at the event. If there's anything else that we can do to make things right, please feel free to let me know. I'm committed to earning the trust of the community again.
Okay, so there seems like there's been some growth. There seems like there's been some reflection. Of course, I'm going to show you later how he comes to this point, because it highlights a point that I brought up in one of my videos about the growing that this gentleman, Ignorant Trey, has to do. Because not only was his situation with his mother and his mother misinterpreting purposely what Keith Lee's instructions were, but his response actually made things worse. And it's something that you have to learn as a man about thinking logically instead of emotionally, responding from your logic and not from your feelings. This guy has, unfortunately, and I don't know his situation with his father or whoever was in his life, but he has missed some lessons on the road to becoming a man. And unfortunately, he's having to learn these things in front of the public eye. Of course, to get to this point, of course, there had to be some eggs broken, right? Enter Sherelle. Sherelle is the hero of this story, I would say. She actually is the one person that has been mature throughout and consistent throughout of how she thought about things, and was very clear and very forceful on being right and making moves that were actually generous, like actually offering her $1,000 just to make sure that her brother got paid. Let's see what Sherelle's talking about now.
I'm going to say this one time. If my phone number is not removed from your platform, I will make a post telling everybody to report your page so much until that bitch disappear. And I will be in the mix reporting it too. You have...
So wait a minute. Somebody leaked her phone number, and I think she's talking about Trey. You know, allegedly. I guess these are allegations, but they leaked her number on the page. I guess in an attempt to get her attention, you know, because at one point they wanted to say, we're trying to reach out to her, but she's not responding to us. That's wrong on so many levels. That's something that you should never do. But this is, like I said, a redemption story, if anything. So let's just hear the rest of what she's talking about.
All of about 32 seconds left to either hide my phone number or remove it altogether before I go to work on your page. You know how long it's going to take you to get back to where you are?
Oh.
A very long time with what's done happened around here.
Wow.
Okay, Mr. Sir? So let's all do right. Let's all forget about what done happened.
Yeah.
Mr. Lee done spoke. I done told the world you done gave me the money.
And she's still being the bigger person here, even with the threat.
There's no need for you to be blasting my number all over the world. You're so adamant and you're so eager to let the world know that you've paid me now when I asked you to pay me a long time ago. Okay? Do me a favor. Remove my number. That's it. That's all.
Okay, so this man has released her number to the public, doxed her, if you will, put her information out there so that for whatever reason she can be contacted by all of his followers. Well, that is an offense that probably is against the terms of service, and she's right. She could get his page removed for that type of thing. Trey doesn't have a small page either. I believe he's over 100,000 on TikTok. So like I was saying, the damage that he is doing to his own brand is only compounded by the fact that the food truck business has been ruined. So you remember when I was talking about having the missing factor, was it there? Other than Keith Lee, obviously, there wasn't a strong male figure in there to help some of these decisions. Because as a man with experience, there are certain things that you can see that a younger man might not be aware of or might be actively fighting against. So enter Chef Brian. Chef Brian is a celebrity chef, I believe. He actually offers his advice as not only a chef, but an older man that can provide some type of perspective.
I spoke with Trey yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do this message yesterday because I got crazy busy, dog. This is a high-class problem. I'm not complaining. But Trey, Sweetly Season's son, called me. Well, actually, no, he DM'd me via TikTok. And here's how he set it up, though. So he set it up in a way, he DM'd me and said, can you hire me? I don't want to be homeless. So you know where that comes from. It comes from my video that told you all if this keeps up, he and his mom, Dukes, are going to be homeless soon. So clearly he was offended by that, but he was at least curious, would you say? So I respond back and say, hey, you want to chat? And an hour later, he says, give me your number. I send my number, and I was happy to get this DM from this young lad. So he calls me. I lock the door. Here at Chef Brian's Comfort Kitchen, I lock the door, right? To any customers. I turned off my Uber Eats, turned off my Grubhub. I said, Trey, Chef Brian here. I'm listening. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. He starts talking for about 30 minutes. And then I finally say, Trey, do you want to be right or do you want to be heard? He said, Chef, I just don't know what happened. I don't know how this got like this. I said, Trey, do you want to be right or do you want to be heard? He said, no, I want to be heard. I said, can you hear and listen to me? He's like, okay, Chef. I said, no matter what you think about the barber, about Sherelle, they did what they said they were going to do. Was the barber there? Yes. Was Sherelle there and she did what she said she'd do? I said, this is a question to him. And Trey was like, no, she did. I said, listen, I get it. You're hurt. You don't understand how any of this happened, how 50 million people came down on you. I said, I can handle 50 million people hating me. I said, but not everyone can. I said, no matter what, did Keith Lee do what he said he would do? And did he not extend grace, elegance, and marketing to your mom's company, to your mom's food truck? He's like, yeah, chef. He said, chef, I just want to tell you one thing, man. I looked up to Keith Lee. I look up to him, man. He means everything to me. I was like, I said, if you don't stop, I said, you're going to make me cry right now. And because he was like, you could hear it in his voice. He was like, chef, like, I don't know why Keith Lee said that. I said, what did he say? So he repeated back what Keith Lee already said too. And I said, I know that right now you can't understand this. I said, I don't expect you to. I said, but do you believe that Keith Lee did something great for your mom? He said, yes. I said, that's all you need to know. I said, I don't know Keith Lee. I don't know Sherelle. I don't know the barber. I said, Mary J. Blige once gave me an envelope full of money for my birthday. 2 hours later, when I was making her lunch, she said, you know, if you want to share some of that cheddar with someone that helped you, you know, that might be cool too. You know what I did? I shared $1,500 of that money with someone that helped me. Yeah. And so when I told him that story, he was like, oh, wow. Now, I don't know if it fully connected, but it connected somehow. It connected with him. And he was like, thank you for telling me that story, Chef Brian. I said, listen, I need you and your mom to win. I said, but what happens is we tend to be, in the black community, right fighters. We only fight to win. We don't fight to be heard or to be listened to. We fight to win. We fight to be right. Excuse me, not to win so much, but we fight to win, of course, but because we want to be right fighters. That's winning to us. Not all of us. I said, Trey, can I ask you to listen to one other thing? He said, yeah, Chef Brian, go ahead. I said, I know that you are a good human being. I know that your mom is a good human being. I said, I know right now, though, you can't understand any of this. He said, I can't, Chef. It's so much. I said, I understand completely. I told him where I'm from and stuff like that. And I said, forget even doing this for me. Do it for yourself. I said, when you get off the phone with me, do a video with hope and sincerity in your eyes to the people viewing you, and ask them, what else can I do? But tell them what you just told me. And let me tell you what he told me, because he cut me off. He said, Chef, I want you to know, like, I feel bad. I feel bad for the things I said, the things I said about Sherelle, things I said about Keith Lee. I said, tell the viewing public what you just told me. Just like that, I said it to him, because I was all pumped up at this point, right? And so he's like, Chef, I'm going to go get a haircut. I'm going to put on a nice shirt. I'm going to go back home and I'm going to do that video. And you know what? I believed him. I believed him. I unlocked my door, got back to work. I got slammed, right? And I was like, oh, shit. Then I saw his video, right? And so I liked it. I even did a comment on it. But then I forgot to even post it and then do this video. So I'm doing this video now, a day later. Go to his page. I'm going to put it up. And I'm also trying to convince him to change his handle too, okay? He's really a good youngin'. He's a good youngin'. He is. He's just, a little wayward right now. You know what I mean? But he don't want no harm to nobody. He just can't believe 50 million people are hating him, and hating his mom. And he said, Chef, I messed up. He said, Chef, I messed up. I know I did. I said, tell the viewing public. Tell everyone what you told me. And you know what, guys? He did it. Please, if you're watching this, tell Keith Lee. Please, make sure Keith Lee gets this, that he literally, like, you could hear in his voice it start to crack. He was like, Keith Lee, man, I looked up. He didn't say looked up. He said, I still look up to him. He said, man, he changed my life. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear from you, Trey. That's what I need to hear from you. And that's what folks need to hear from you. So will Trey still kind of, trip up a little bit? Yes. But he's asking you, he says, Chef, should I ask them? Should I ask the public, for their help? Yes, ask them to give you advice. I said, but you got to take it, though. Anyway, let that marinate, and I'm going to work on his mom next, though, I'm going to see what I can do.
Thank you. Somebody finally stepped in with some sense. Somebody, and this is what I said, there's a lack of a strong male figure in this equation. And basically, what he does is he sets the stage now for Trey to actually take some responsibility and to actually do some things he should have done naturally in this situation to protect himself and his mother and their business, right? But it goes back to something that Sherelle said in one of the videos, that the mother was saying that the kids really weren't concerned with the business, that they really weren't that interested in making things, in helping her create her business until his Keith Lee opportunity arose. So I'm glad that there's been somebody, an adult. I'm glad a man could pull him to the side, somebody that he respects, somebody that's also in the food industry that could give him that type of advice to get him to the place that we saw him at in the beginning of the video.
I want to start this video off by apologizing to Keith Lee. He is someone that I looked up to for so long. I would never intentionally flip his words to work in my favor.
Right? So that's, I will say that's at least a positive of this. Like, the positives have to be parsed through all the negativity because, like I said, the Keith Lee effect and what it is, it can be positive or it can be negative. And you hate to see something like this turn into a pure negative. But we're not done there yet. There was some other fallout in this. Back to the lovely Sherelle.
Keith Lee. Sweetly seasoned food truck review sparks backlash against the wrong restaurant. I'm a little spicy here today, all right? I'm coming at you from seasoned street food, a little spicy today, because of the saga that we have going on. Apparently, Keith Lee, who is, an I think MMA fighter turned food blogger, reviewed Sweetly Seasoned, which is a food truck in Fort Worth. We own seasoned street food in Dallas, and y'all are coming at us hard. You guys are blowing up my husband's phone. You guys are sending us nasty emails. You have gone on the internet and you have blown up our reviews to negative nothing nilly Nancy, okay? Now that's between you and God, honey. You guys are all out there willy-nilly in front of God and everybody just blogging on the internet, reviewing businesses that have nothing to do with what we're even talking about here, guys. This is supposed to be increasing small businesses, and thank you. Thank you. This has nothing to do with Keith Lee, by the way. Y'all need to get your facts straight. Get your facts straight, all right? This is seasoned street food. We are not sweetly seasoned, my dear. Please stop sending me emails telling me that I am trash and that I should be ashamed of myself, because I'm not, all right? I have nothing to do with this. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Hey, how are you? My name is Sherelle. First, I want to say I am deeply sorry for the negative reviews and the negative phone calls that you and your husband have been receiving. I actually reached out to your husband to apologize to him and let him know the discrepancies that was going on. And I told him that I wanted to correct it. So me and my platform, we're going to come down and we're going to enjoy the festivities that you guys have today. We're going to go live, whatever gifts, whatever is donated to the live. Once we get off and we see, whatever is what, I'm going to donate it to you guys. I'm sorry.
Nice.
I never wanted this to happen. I'm honestly just now finding out about you guys, but I live in Dallas and it's only right that I come down and I do my best to make it right. Please forgive me and please forgive the ignorance that is floating around out there. We'll be out there to support your business a lot later, and I can't wait to meet you. I hope you have a better day. Bye.
Give it up for the class act that is Sherelle. Amazing handling this. Because this business, in the whole melee caught a stray. So at least some positive can be pulled from this. Now Sherelle is being able to outreach to her community to take her skills. And honestly, this seems like something that she'll be able to do going forward with other businesses. Maybe another Keith Lee has been born out of this situation. That's a possibility. And hopefully Trey takes the advice that was given to him by the celebrity chef, Chef Brian, who was willing to give him that advice. We'll stay tuned. But as for now, this concludes As the Food Truck Burns. We don't have any updates from Mama. She seems to be keeping a pretty low profile, which is probably well advised at this moment, just to rehab the image of the business, just to get things going. But I hope all the lessons that were given in this very moment are heeded and people learn from this and evolve and grow, because that's all that you can do in a situation like this. You know, people talk trash about the internet and its impact, but I think it's pretty clear that it can be a place where good things can happen. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. This is Faucette Media.